Gymnastics is one of the body activities loosely tied with science and philosophy, the activities of the mind. For a sport so revered both in the world and in the Olympics, there have been moments that did not take those who commit to the art in the highest of regards. And so, in this video, we will talk about 9 times gymnasts were disrespected. First, the case of the USA Gymnastics doctor. Larry Nassar was a former Michigan State University physician, as well as a USA Gymnastics doctor who was working with the U.S. women's national team. Nassar abused the authority he had not one but multiple times. More than 150 women came forward with their sexual abuse stories, where the assailant was the doctor, who'd been doing these sickening acts under the guise of medical treatment. These women included Olympians like Gabby Douglas, Jordan Weber, Simone Biles, and Michaela Maroney. The two-time Olympian Aly Raisman was also a victim and had given a powerful speech in the Michigan courtroom testifying against Nassar. The doctor had been sentenced to 60 years of life imprisonment on federal pornography charges in 2017. And after pleading guilty to 7 counts of criminal sexual misconduct for this case, which came into light only a year later, he was sentenced to up to 175 years in Michigan State Prison. Next, Simone Biles getting penalized for being too good? In 2019, the International Gymnastics Federation had a solution to stop gymnasts from trying skills that they cannot physically be able to accomplish. What was the solution, you ask? By simplifying Simone Biles' routines that she was going to perform at the World Championships vault so the others do not feel threatened. You heard that right. The Times 2021 Athlete of the Year had always been cautious when it concerns adding difficulty to her performance. Gymnasts are actually told to make their routines more complex and give them more artistry, but apparently when they do that, they are discredited for their efforts. To give you a rundown of the point system, every element in the sport is assigned a letter that represents a numerical value. If you get an A on your skill, you get a 1/10 of a point, and the following letters add an extra 1/10. This means a D skill is worth 4/10 of a point, while a J skill, which is pretty rare, earns a full point. Biles' 2 new skills at the Worlds, namely a triple twisting double somersault on floor exercise, plus a double twisting double somersault dismount off balance beam, warranted a J and an H respectively, which was in itself a massive disrespect of her efforts. To justify the decision, the Women's Technical Committee said that there are many different things that are taken into consideration while assigning values to the new elements, and it was due to the risk in the landing of double saltos for beam dismounts with or without twists, including but not limited to a potential landing on the neck, that they had to do so. Up next, the tragic story of Elena Mckenna. Elena Mckenna was a Soviet gymnast who lost both her parents at the age of 5 and was raised by her grandmother. She was interested in gymnastics from an early age, but up until 15 years of age, the Moscow-born did not really stand out. What brought attention to her skills was her 1976 Olympics Romanian domination of the Soviet gymnastics machine. What also contributed to her fame was her transition to working with men's coach Mikhail Klemenko, who made her what she was, the most show-stopping gymnast of her time. Ironically, he also played a role in her downfall. Mckenna made history in the 1978 World Championship in France. What awaited her after were the 1980 Summer Olympics taking place in her home city. In preparation for the competition, she was being pressured to add the Thomas Salto, a difficult and dangerous tumbling move by her own coach Klemenko, as well as other high-ranking Soviet coaches. The gymnast soon realized the Thomas Salto was very risky because it required you to get enough height and speed to make all the flips and mid-air twists while simultaneously landing inbounds with enough room to do the forward roll. All this required near-perfect timing to avoid landing on the chin due to under-rotation or the back of the head from over-rotation. She said so to her coach, but he only said that people like her don't break their necks. But that's exactly what happened 2 weeks before the opening of the 1980 Summer Olympics, leaving the gymnast permanently paralyzed. What was more horrifying was her first thought as she lay on the floor with her neck severely broken, thanks "Thank God I won't be going to the Olympics." The Soviet team could not be more disrespectful about the incident, commenting that she was only an Olympic team candidate anyway. Now, how the World Gymnastics Championship 2021 did not get TV coverage in Russia. Russia is a big name in the world of gymnastics, which became the marquee event of the Olympics. So it came as a shock to lovers of the sport that the World Gymnastics Championship of 2021 did not get any TV coverage in Russia. Angelina Melnikova, the all-around title winner of the 2021 World Artistic Gymnastics Championships, spoke out about this disrespect, saying that it was a shame that the gymnastics turned out to be of no use to anyone, and it went against their notion of the popularization of sports. She was surprised when she found out that her parents and her relatives could not watch her performance. "It is very offensive and even humiliating," the gymnast remarked. At number 5, we have Caitlyn Ohashi's story. Caitlyn Ohashi had defeated the legendary Simone Biles back in 2013 with an exceptionally difficult balance beam routine, and said that she hoped to get to the Olympics and win. However, she, like many others in the sport, became a victim of body shaming. This battle, along with a series of injuries, led to her decision to quit elite gymnastics, after which she enrolled in UCLA. Thankfully, she rediscovered her love for gymnastics and also developed a much healthier relationship with her body. Up next, Kerri Strug and her vault. When Simone Biles withdrew from the Olympics final, barely landing on her feet in a vault, people were quick to compare her with Kerri Strug, who won the U.S. a gold medal in the 1996 Olympics by vaulting on an injured ankle. But the truth is, Strug would not have done it if she knew it wasn't necessary. It was her teammates and coach who pushed her on, saying she could do it, and practically demanding another vault in the finals when her first one, where she nearly broke her leg, was a poor one. And so she did, teeth clenched and eyes watering, holding her feet in place till the judges were satisfied, and finally crumbling to her knees. She ended up in the X-ray room at a nearby hospital, but the U.S. won gold. And the cruel fact, America didn't need that second vault to win gold. Now, Leah Ashroff was criticized for winning gold. Rhythmic gymnastics had been Russia's favorite sport to compete in the last few years, but when the Israeli gymnast Leah Ashroff won gold at the Tokyo Olympics instead of the fan favorite Dina Averina, fans were quick to jump at the gymnast, accusing her of winning unfairly. In an interview with Championat, a Russian digital sports publisher, Ashroff said that she was being bullied on social media. It could be said that all this was triggered by Averina's comments on the score she got. The Russian felt that her lower score was not representative of her routine, which was consistent and clean as compared to that of Lenoy's, who lost her apparatus. Later, Averina expressed that she felt sorry for Ashroff and that it was not her fault. She also urged people to not harass the Israeli. At number 8, accusations against Valerie Luken. Valerie Luken became the coordinator of the U.S. women's national team after Rio and was involved in some controversies. In February of 2017, a longtime member of the U.S. team and all-around champion nationals, Vanessa Atler, disclosed in the Gymcastic podcast that she developed bulimia while training under Luken at the World Olympic Gymnastics Academy. She also said that she was always pressured to remain thin because Luken would weigh them thrice a day, in the morning, after workouts, and in the night. She remarked that it was stupid and pointless, but Luken, in response to her comments, said that he was just trying to help her achieve her dreams. Up next, the story of Jalisa Gomez. Jalisa Gomez was rapidly rising in the ranks of elite gymnastics in the mid-'80s, but her journey was cut short. In May 1988, she qualified for the vault finals in all-around competition, but her technique on the complex Yurchenko vault was shaky at best. A teammate had commented later that it was not a safe vault for her, and that someone should have stopped her from doing it. But as the tale goes, Gomez continued to practice the Yurchenko, and in one of the warm-ups for the final, her foot slipped off the springboard and her head slammed into the vaulting horse at high speed. The resulting impact instantly paralyzed her from the the neck down. The misery was not over for her because later, at a Japanese hospital, she got disconnected from her ventilator, which caused severe brain damage, and she went into a coma. She died 3 years later due to an infection. And that is all we have for you today. Thanks for watching.